Yeah? And the more I live surrendered, and the more I yield, the more resources come to make me what I was always intended to be and that I could never be on my own. It's called grace, people. Grace isn't God's mercy. Grace is God's empowerment. Grace is God using His power and His ability on your behalf to make you into something you could never be on your own. But then when we talk like I'm talking, it can be called hype. Well, you got to relate. You got to keep it real, brother. Everybody has their moments. You ask Jesus if everybody has to have their moments. We're just talking out of our own experience. And then we lord our experience over His grace, and His grace wants to change our experience. So then preachers feel like they got to relate to the room. No, I got to relate to Christ and call you into Him. Yeah, but we're not, you must be stuffing your emotions. I've heard that. Well, we still got emotions. You got perverted emotions. The emotions you grew up with came from self-centeredness. Your whole life it was all about you, and you didn't even realize it. From the time you were born, the first things you said and expressed was, me, And Jesus said, that has to die if I'm going to live. And we say, pray a prayer to go to heaven. And Jesus said, no. That has to die if I'm going to live in you. That's why there's so many people falling apart, falling out. That's why people skip churches, hop churches, mad at pastors, mad at leadership. Now they start to work because every leader in their town is religious and controlling. And everybody's getting affected by where everybody else isn't. And then everybody else is actually ultimately going to be found to be your motivation instead of Him. Whew. See, here's where you got to get in your life. You have to understand that if everybody says, hey, we're following the wind here, man. This is silly. We've been deceived. There ain't no such thing. This book ain't even true. You still have to decide what you're going to do with that truth. And see, you could all get up out of this room and say, we don't have time to hear a word you say. This is all a whim. I know that's extreme, but I'm just telling you, you got to settle. It don't matter what the whole world says. You're not following no crowd. You're following Him. Because faith says He's true and He's real. And the thing is, along the way, He builds your faith into knowing and God reality. I'm not trying to believe anything. I'm just waking up in Him every day for 29 years.